So our progress report says we ended at page 31. Okay, and the last headword was customer confidence, numeric type of lesson. Let me just search 31, consumer confidence. Okay, so let's start with our revision.
Okay.
Okay, let me just check. Okay, here we go. First question. If we're writing a business letter on plain paper without a letterhead, where's a common place to put our own address? If we're writing a business letter on plain paper without a letterhead, where's a common place to put our own address? If we're writing a
If we are
business
writing
letter
a business
on
letter
plain paper
on plain
without
paper
a letterhead,
without a
a common
letterhead,
place to
a
put
common
our
place
own
to put
address
our own
is
address
in the top
is
right hand
in the
corner.
top right hand corner.
Very good. And where should we put the address of the person or company we're writing to? And where should we put the address or the person of the company we're writing to? We should put the
We
address
should
of
put
the
the address
person or
of the
company
person
we're
or
writing
company
to
we are writing
below
to
our own
below
address
our own
on
address
the left hand side
on
of the
the left
page.
hand side of the page.
Where if we're writing to someone called Simon Fisher, for example, how should we start the letter? Dear Mr. Fisher, dear
Dear
Simon
Mr.
Fisher,
Fisher,
or
dear
dear
Simon
Simon?
Fisher, dear
If we're
Simon
writing to someone called Simon Fisher, for
Fisher,
example,
for
how should we
example,
start the letter? Dear Mr. Fisher, dear
dear Mr.
Simon
Fisher,
Fisher, or
dear
dear
Simon
Simon?
Fisher, or
If
dear
we're
Simon.
writing to
If we are
someone
writing
called
to
Simon
someone who is
Fisher,
called Simon
for
Fisher,
example, we
for
should start
example,
the
we
letter
should
with
start the
Dear
letter
Mr.
with
Fisher.
dear Mr. Fisher.
Very good. How should we start a letter if we don't know the name of the person we're writing to?
As we are writing to,
How should we start a letter if we don't know the name of the person we're writing to?
we are writing to.
If we don't know the
If we
name
don't know
of the
the name
person
of the
we're
person
writing to,
we are writing
we should
to,
start a
we
letter
should start
with
a
Dear
letter
Sir
with dear
or
sir
Dear
or
Madam.
dear madam.
Very good. What's the purpose of the line we often find at the start of a business letter that begins with the abbreviation RE? What's the purpose of the line we often find at the start of a business letter that begins with the abbreviation RE? The purpose of the
The
line
purpose
we
of the
often
line
find
we
at
often
the
find
start of a
at the
business
start
letter
of a business
that
letter
begins with the
that begins
abbreviation
with the
RE
abbreviation
is to
RE
indicate
is to
what the letter
indicate
is about.
what the letter is about.
Well, what should we mention in the first main paragraph? What should we mention in the first main paragraph? In the first main
In the
paragraph,
first main
we should
paragraph,
mention
we should
any earlier
mention any
correspondence
earlier
we're
correspondence
replying to
we are replying
and
to
our reason
and
for writing the letter. And
our
reason for writing the letter.
our reason for writing the letter.
Very good.
Okay.
One more. In the first
Okay.
main
In the
paragraph,
first main
we
paragraph,
should mention
we should
any
mention
earlier
any
correspondence
earlier correspondence
we're replying
we
to
are replying
and
to
our reason
and
for
our reason
writing the letter.
for writing the letter.
Very good. Why is it important to start a new paragraph each time we change the subject or make an important new point? Why is it important to start a new paragraph each time we change the subject or make an important new point? It's
Point.
important to
It's
start a
important
new
to start
paragraph
a new
each
paragraph
time we
each
change
time
the
we
subject
change
or
the
make
subject
an
or
important new
make an
point
important new point
because it makes the
because
letter
it makes
easier
the
to
letter
read
easier to
and
read
understand.
and understand.
Should we use full forms or contracted forms in a business letter? Should we
Letter.
use full forms or contracted forms in a business letter? We should use
We
full
should use
forms
full
in a
forms
business letter.
in a business letter.
Very good. Why are linking words and expressions important in our writing? Why are linking words and expressions important in our writing? Linking words and
Linking words
expressions
and
are
expressions
important in
are
our
important
writing
in our
because
writing
they help to connect
because they
our
help to connect
ideas
our
together
ideas
clearly.
together clearly.
Very good. Give me a few examples of linking words and expressions. Give me a few examples of linking words and expressions, please. However,
However,
therefore, in order
therefore,
to,
in order
and
to,
on account of
and on account of,
are few examples
a few
of linking
examples,
words and expressions. Of
a few
linking
examples
words.
of,
Linking words.
okay, a few examples of linking
Very
words.
good. One more. However,
However,
therefore, in order to,
however,
therefore,
okay, however, therefore,
in
in
order
order
to,
to,
And on account
and
of
on account
are
of
few
a
examples
few
of
examples
linking
of
words and
linking words
expressions.
and expressions.
Very good. If we want to make a request for the reader to do something specific after reading our letter, where's a good place to put the
Request
request?
to put the
If we
request.
want to make a request for the reader to do something specific after reading our letter, where's a good place to put the request? If we want to make
If you
a
want to
request
meet a
for the
request
reader to do
for the
something
reader to do something
specific after
specific
reading our
after
letter,
reading our
a good
letter,
place to
a
put the
good place
request
to put the
is near
request
the end.
is near the end.
Very good. What's the difference in use between yours sincerely and yours faithfully? What's the difference in use between yours sincerely and yours
Sincerely
faithfully?
or
The
sincerely.
difference in
The
use
difference in
between
yours
yours
between
sincerely
yours
and yours
sincerely
faithfully
and yours
is that
faithfully
we
is
use
that you
yours
will use
sincerely
yours
when we've
sincerely
written a
when we've
person's name
written a person's
at the
name
beginning of the
at the
letter,
beginning of the letter,
whereas we use
whereas we
yours
use
faithfully
yours
when
faithfully
we've started the
when we
letter
when we've started the
with
letter
dear sir or
with dear
dear
sir
madam.
or dear madam.
Very good. What do we print below our signature at the end of the letter? What do we print or what do we print below our signature at the end of the letter? We print our name
We print our
and job
name
title
and job titles
below our signature
below our
at the
signature
end of a letter.
at the end of the letter.
Very good. At the end of a business email, what do we use instead of
Email.
yours
Okay.
sincerely and yours
Yours sincerely.
faithfully?
Yours
At
faithfully.
the end of a business email, what do we use instead of yours sincerely and yours faithfully? At the end of a
At the
business
end
email,
of a business
we
email,
use
we
regards,
use regards,
best regards,
best regards,
kind regards,
kind regards,
etc. instead
etc.
of yours
Instead of
sincerely
yours
or
sincerely
yours
or
faithfully.
yours faithfully.
Very good. What do we call someone who establishes their own business? What do we call someone who establishes
Someone
their
who
own
establishes their
business?
own
We call
businesses.
someone
We call
who
someone
establishes
who
their own
establishes
business
their own
an
businesses
entrepreneur.
an entrepreneur.
Very good. What proportion of new restaurant business do you reckon have to close down within
Have to
1 year
close
of
down
being
within one
established?
year of being
The
established.
majority or a
The
minority?
majority or a
What
minority.
proportion of new restaurant businesses do you reckon have to close down within 1 year of being established? The majority or a minority? I reckon
I reckon a
of
minority
new
of
restaurant
new
businesses
restaurants
have to
businesses
close down
have to close
within one
down
year of
within
being
1 year
established.
of being established.
When we describe a company as well established, what do we mean? When we describe a company as well established, what do we mean? When we describe
When
a
we describe
company as
a
well
company
established,
as well
we
established,
mean the
we
company
mean
has
the
been
company
trading
has been
for a long time.
has been
Trading
has been
for
trading
a long time
for a long
and
time
is successful.
and is
Very
successful.
good. One more. When we
Okay.
describe a
When we
company
describe
as
a
well
company
established,
as well
we mean the
established,
company
we
has
mean the
been
company
trading for
has
a
been
long
trading
time
for a long
and is
time
successful.
and is successful.
Very good. Okay. If you feel unsure about what to do in a particular
In a
situation at
particular
work, who
situation
should
at
you
work,
consult?
who should
If you feel
consult?
unsure about what to do in a particular situation at work, who should you consult? If I feel unsure
If I feel
about what
unsure
to do
about
in
what
a
to do
particular
in a
situation
particular
at
situation
work, I should
at work,
consult my
I should
line manager.
consult my line manager.
Why? Why do you think so? Because
Because line manager um, has a responsibility has a respon hmm? A line manager is responsible for instructing me and training.
training, that's correct. For operation. Very good. He's
Yeah.
responsible for instructing and training you. Very good. Okay. Why do businesses prefer to hire consultants for certain types of work rather than retain someone
Rather
in
than retain
house?
someone in
Why
house.
do businesses prefer to hire consultants for certain types of work rather than retain someone in house?
house.
Businesses prefer to
Businesses
hire
prefer to
consultants
hire
for certain
consultants
types of
for
work
certain types of
rather
work
than retain
rather
someone
than
in
retain
house
someone in
because
house
the
because
specialist knowledge
there's a specialist.
that a
Sorry,
consultant
they have a
that a specialist knowledge
the specialist
that a
knowledge
consultant
that a
has
consultant
might not
has
be needed
might
often,
not be needed
so
often,
it's cheaper to
so
pay a
it's
fee
cheaper to
to a
pay a fee
consultancy
to a
firm
consultancy
when
firm
necessary
when
than
necessary
to retain someone
than to
in-house.
retain someone
Very
in-house.
good. One more.
Okay.
Businesses prefer
Businesses
to hire
prefer to
consultants
hire
for
consultants
certain types of
for
work
certain types of
rather
work
than retain
rather
someone
than retain
in-house
someone
because
in-house
the
because
specialist
a
knowledge
specialist
that
knowledge
a consultant
that
has
a consultant
might
has
not be needed
might not
often,
be needed
so it's
often,
cheaper to pay a
so it's
fee
cheaper to pay a
to a
fee
consultancy
to a
firm when
consultancy firm
necessary
when
than to
necessary
retain someone
than to
in-house.
retain someone in-house.
Very good. Name two common types of survey used in market research to obtain information from customers.
Information from
Name
customer.
two common types of survey used in market research to obtain information from customers, please. Two common types
Two
of
common
survey
types
used
of survey
in
used
market research
in
to
market research
obtain
to
information from
obtain information
customers
from
are
customers,
questionnaires and
questionnaires,
interviews.
and interview.
Very good. Okay, next. When you're trying to reduce your personal spending, what kind of things do you usually
What
cut
kind
back
of things you
on?
should cut back
When you're
on?
trying to reduce your personal spending, what kind of things do you usually cut back on? When I'm trying to
When I'm
reduce
trying
my personal
to reduce
spending,
my personal
I
spending,
usually cut back
I
on.
usually cut back on eating eating out.
Very good. Under what circumstances might the government introduce cutbacks on public spending? Under what circumstances might the government introduce cutbacks on public spending? A government might
A government
introduce
might
cutback
introduce
on public
cutback
spending
on public
during a
spending
recession
during a
or
recession
when there's a
or when
serious
there's
downturn
a serious
in the
downturn
economy.
in the economy.
Wait, what's the opposite of the word downturn? What's the opposite of the word
Opposite of
downturn? The
downtown.
opposite
The
of the
opposite
word
of the
downturn
word
is
downtown
upturn.
is uptown.
Very good. Name me some things that we definitely refer to as goods rather than services. Name me some things that we definitely refer to as goods rather than services. Some things we
Some things
definitely
we
refer
definitely
to as
refer
goods
to as
than
goods
services
than
are cars,
services are
pens,
cars,
books,
pens,
etc.
books, etc.
And name me some things we definitely refer to as services. And name some things we definitely refer to as services, please. Some things we
Some things
definitely
we
refer to as
definitely refer
services
to as
are
services
insurance policies,
are insurance policies,
haircuts, advice from
haircuts,
a consultant,
advice from a
etc.
consultant, etc.
Very good. Okay, during a period of rapidly increasing inflation, would you expect
Inflation,
consumer confidence to grow or decline?
inflation to grow or decline.
During a period of rapidly increasing inflation, would you expect consumer confidence to grow or decline? During a period of
During a period of
rapidly increasing
rapidly
inflation,
increasing
I'd
inflation,
expect consumer
I'd expect
confidence to.
consumer confidence to decline
Why? Why do you think so? Because.
because the rapidly inflation
Hmm.
can cause another problem, such as increasing high prices for products.
Increasing
Yes.
prices for products. That's correct.
Yeah.
It can bring up the prices. Very good.
Bring up
Okay.
the prices. Okay.
Alright. Is a bank more likely or less likely to decline a request for a mortgage if it thinks the customer might
If things
default
the
on the
customer
loan?
might default on the
Is a bank
loan.
more likely or less likely to decline a request for a mortgage if it thinks the customer might default on the loan? A bank is more
A bank
likely to
is more
decline a
likely to
request
decline a
for a
request
mortgage
for a
if it
mortgage
thinks the
if it thinks
customer might
the
default
customers
on the
might
loan.
default on the loan.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work.
Okay. Okay.
Very good. Okay, so let's start. Repeat. Negotiate.
Negotiate.
Negotiation.
Negotiation.
Compromise.
Compromise.
Very good. Okay, listen. Negotiate is a verb. It means to discuss something formally in
Discuss
order
something
to make
formally
an
in order
agreement.
to make an
For
agreement.
example, she is negotiating a higher salary.
Higher salary.
Negotiation is a noun. It is a verb of
Negotiation.
negotiate.
Verb of negotiate.
Okay. Compromise is a noun. It is a way of
Now,
reaching
way
agreement
of
in which
reaching
each
agreement
person or
with
group
which a
gives up
person or group
something
gives
that
up
was
something
wanted in order to end an
that wanted
argument.
in the
For example,
argument.
the negotiation between the two countries were
The two
successful and
countries were
happy.
successful and happy.
Compromise was reached.
Compromise was reached.
Let's practice. Have you ever successfully negotiated a pay rise with an employer?
With an
Have you ever
employer.
successfully negotiated a pay rise with an employer? Yes or no?
No,
I've never
I've
successfully
never successfully
negotiated a pay rise
negotiated a pay
with
rise
an employer.
with an employer.
Give me an example of the noun negotiation. Give me an example of the noun
The
negotiation,
noun
please.
negotiation.
The
The,
negotiations between
the negotiation
the
between
two countries
the two countries
were successful
were
and a happy
successful and a
compromise
happy
was
compromise
reached.
was reached.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Catalog,
Catalog.
brochure,
Okay.
brochure,
Brochure. Brochure. Okay.
publish,
Publish.
testimonial.
Testimonial.
Very good. Okay, listen. Catalog and brochure are both common
Brochure are
types of
both common
marketing
types of marketing
documentation
documents.
used to
Documentation.
tell customers about a company's
A
goods and
company's goods
services.
and
The
services.
difference, a catalog lists every product that the company
List every
offers
product the
with
company offers
information on
with
prices.
information on
A
prices.
brochure, however, might not contain
However,
every
might not
product
contain
available.
every product
For
available.
example, it may promote a
May
brochure may
promote
only promote only new items or
only
special
new
offers.
items or special
A
offers.
brochure may also contain other information, for
Contain other
example, a brief
information, for
history of the
example, a
company,
brief history of
some
the
customer
company,
testimonials,
some
etc.
customer testimonial, etc.
Very good. Okay, so let's practice.
Okay.
Catalogs and brochure are both common types of
Both
marketing
types of
documentation,
marketing
but which
documentation,
is more likely to
which
give
is
the
more
reader a
likely
full
to
list
give the
of
reader a
products and
full list of
prices?
product and prices.
Catalogs and brochures are both common types of
Both
marketing
common types of
documentation,
marketing
but which is
documentation.
more likely to give the reader a full
Like to
list
give
of
the reader
products
a
and
full list of
prices?
product and
A
prices.
catalog list okay, a catalog
Okay, sorry. A catalog
lists every product
lists every
that the
product
company
that the
offers
company
with
offers
information on
with
prices.
information on prices.
Very good. So in what way is a brochure different from a catalog? So in what way is a
Way
brochure
is a
different from a
brochure
catalog?
different
A
from a catalog?
brochure is
A
different from
brochure
a
is
catalog
different from a
because
catalog
it might not
because it
contain
might not
every product
contain
available.
every
For
product available.
example, it may
For
promote
example,
only
it may
items. It may
promote
promote
only items
on special offers.
on special offers.
Very good. Why do you think many businesses publish their catalogs online these days instead of printing them?
So
Why do
printing
you
them.
think many publish their catalogs online these days instead of printing them? I think.
Wait a minute. I think I think online catalog is
Mm,
cheaper than catalog printed.
that's correct. It's cheaper and it can reach everybody than printed one.
Reach
Very good.
everybody. Okay.
Okay, next repeat. Guarantee.
Guarantee
Valid.
valid.
Very good. Okay, listen. Okay, guarantee is a noun. It is a
Is a noun.
usually written promise,
It's
such
a
as
written
a
promises
promise that the quality of
that the
something,
quality
such as a
of
product
something
that is
that is a
being
product
sold, will be as
being
good as
sold
expected.
will be a good as
For
expected.
example, a guarantee must be in writing in order for it to be legally valid.
For it to be legally valid.
Valid is an adjective. It means acceptable according to the law.
Acceptable according to
For
the law.
example, my passport is still valid. It
Valid.
means it's not expired. Okay, let's
Okay.
practice. Must a guarantee be in writing in order for it to be legally valid? Must a guarantee be in writing in order for it to be legally valid? Yes, a
Yes,
guarantee
a
must be
guarantee
in writing
must be in
in
writing
order for it
in order
to
for
be
it
legally valid.
to be legally valid.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Motivate.
Motivate.
Motivation.
Motivation.
Bonus.
Bonus.
Very good. Okay, listen. Motivate is a verb. It
Verb.
means to give someone a reason for doing
Give some
something.
reason for doing
For
something.
example, The company has used a number of methods to motivate
number of
its
methods
employees.
motivate its employees.
Motivation is the noun of the verb motivate.
Now, it's about motivate.
Bonus is a noun. It is an extra amount of money that is given to an employee. For
For
example,
employee, for
we
example,
receive annual bonuses at the end of the
annual
year.
bonus at the end of the year.
Okay, let's practice. Would you say the average person was motivated by money more than by anything else in life? Would you say that the average person was motivated by money more than anything else in life? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd say the
I'd
average
say
person
the average
was
person
motivated by
was
money
motivated by
more
money
than by
more
anything
than
else
by anything else
in life.
in life.
Very good. So let's move on to reading.
Reading, okay.
Okay. So our reading is at page 6. Paragraph headword was general manager. Okay, please start at page 7. Supply demand in
Page
short
7.
supply.
Okay. Uh, Page 7. Supply,
Mm-hmm.
demand. Okay. Supply, demand in short supply.
Good.
Why do tickets for certain sporting events, concerts, etc. sell at very high prices? Tickets for certain sporting event, concerts, etc. Sell at very high prices because the demand for the tickets is very high and the supply is limited. What's another way of saying that the supply of a product is limited? Another way of saying that the supply of a product is limited is to say that the product is in short supply. Field, specialize, specialist, career path, skill set, skill set. Thinking about a person's career path, what's one advantage of becoming a specialist in a particular field? Thinking about a person's career path, one advantage of becoming a specialist in a particular field.
Is that a person?
Okay, is that a person can earn a lot of money if the work they specialize in is high demand. And tell me a possible disadvantage of being a specialist, please. A possible disadvantage of being a specialist